So, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and I'm a gorilla in the wrist. And I'd really like it if you subscribed to the channel. Today, we're going back to review my first Steeldive watch for quite a time. I have a real thing for the brand, so I'm really curious to see whether this one is any good. Let's find out. So today we're having a look at this Steeldive SD1953. It's a 41mm deep sea diver. It's a subby, clearly a subby homage. I picked this one up for about, let's get a bit close to the camera. It comes in these nice hard boxes with the assortment of tools and bits and pieces that these tend to come with, an unsigned warranty card. I'm not going to bother taking it out to show you. This one I picked up for less than 40 quid. I got it a couple of months ago. I took it out the box, I had a look. I didn't like the Cyclops, I put it back in the box and that was it. It sat there for a couple of months. I kind of wish I'd taken it out and had a go on it a bit sooner actually. Just one of those things. We're going to come to the dial in a minute, but let's just do a quick walk around and watch. So we have a fairly decent Jubilee strap that it's on. It comes with the branded clasp and a pretty good milled ladder clasp at that. Plenty of micro adjust. There's safety pushers and a safety clasp over the top. Again, nicely branded, nicely brushed. The bracelet itself, get the right way up, is brushed on the outer links and then has three fairly well polished inner links. Works very well. It's remarkably comfortable actually. So yeah, it does its job, and it is a genuine 5-link. So you can, I've taken, believe it or not, this gorilla had to take links out of the bracelet on this watch, and they are proper genuine 5-link links, and I'll be honest with you, it was a bit of a faff putting it all back together again, but decent, as you say, decent amount of micro adjust on there, so you may not need to take links out, but it comes with a tool that allows you to do that. The dial itself, it's very reflective, very reflective. But let's just talk about the dial. So we have a black ceramic bezel, diver's bezel. I keep thinking there's something wrong with the alignment. I don't know why. It just, whenever I look at it, it doesn't quite look right. There's something not right on there, and I can't. Very slightly misaligned. It's a fairly standard subby layout. So it's got a minute tracker around the outside. It's got applied indices. We've got a triangle at the 12. We then have battens and 6 and 9 and just circular applied indices all the way around. They are lumed. The watch has the Steeldive logo. And I keep calling it a monkey. It's not a monkey, is it? It's a diver logo above the pinion. Below the pinion it says, well, this is one of its problems, automatic 300 meters. It has a whacking great Cyclops on it to give you a very clear view of the date, and that was the thing that put me off it, to be honest, originally. But I've kind of got used to it. It is a bit big though. It has Mercedes style hands on it. And is in a remarkable colour of turquoise. I think one of the sort of the challenges around using these very bright summer colours and a reflective dial as well is that you do get issues with visibility. But it's nicely done. It's on a standard sort of subby type frame. The crown is screw down and the case back is screw down as well. Along with again that very odd logo and a bit of a spec sheet on the back. Does have solid end links, however it also has these rather massive male end links, which we'll talk about a bit later. And the finishing on the sides is high polish, so it's going to be a bit of a fingerprint magnet. A 40 quid watch, the finishing isn't bad at all. There is a bit of a chamfer on that edge. So yeah, I think in overall terms, I think quite an interesting watch. The colour is spectacular, and it was the colour that drew me to it originally. But it also houses NH35 movement. It also has a sapphire crystal that they've stuck that ugly Cyclops on. So let's walk very quickly through the detailed specifications for this watch. We have a 41mm dive width. The lug to lug on this, because of those ridiculous extended male end links, is 52mm, but a standard lug width of 20. It's not too thick at 13.5mm, predominantly because it's housing the Seiko NH35 movement. It is a bit weighty at 162 grams, has 300 meters of water resistance and a decent sapphire crystal. So let's talk about the things that I dislike on this watch. So I'll start off with the male end links. So I really like the bracelet, but unfortunately the male end links are just huge. And what we end up with is an effective lug to lug of over 52mm, which I think for a lot of people will make this hard to wear. And it's a real shame it's not necessary, and clearly you can get away from that if you swap the strap out and put a different bracelet on that doesn't have it, or stick it on a NATO, whatever you want to do. It does come on rubber straps, you can buy it on rubber straps, but I kind of like a Jubilee. It's unfortunately it's got these massive male end links really. The second bit, and you're going to get a sense of this as I'm filming, is just that flecto. I suspect that the sapphire crystal on it needs a couple more coats of anti-reflective. It is a bit of a shame because that dial is a bit of a star and you don't always get to see the full impressive nature of it. The third thing that I'm not a big fan of is just that, I mentioned it, that Cyclops. It puts me in mind of the Minion with the big glass eye. It's one of those things that is a bit like a spot. Once you notice it, your eye is just drawn to it all the time. I mean, it's perfectly functional, effective. It does what it says, but it uglifies the watch somewhat, and it does become a bit of your eye is just drawn to it all the time, which is a real shame, really. And then the final thing is that there seems to be a misalignment. It shows up really strongly when you see the Lume shot. Not so much, but it's there, and again, once you know it's there, you keep noticing it all the more. Bit of a shame, really. But those are the things that I'm not overly impressed with. To be honest with you, apart from the Cyclops, there's none of those that are showstoppers. In terms of the things that I like, I love the colour. I mean, it says turquoise, and it's turquoise baby blue sort of colour. The dial is quite impressive when it isn't reflecting light. Does have a really interesting sunburst effect that I'm trying to get, but it's really hard because of the reflector. But it is a bit special, that dial. And with that black ceramic bezel as well setting off, it's a really decent combination. The second thing I like, and you will have seen the Lume shot, oh my god, how on earth do they do that for 40 quid? I have no earthly idea. Pagani Design, please pay attention. If these guys can do it for 40 quid, why can't you? Please, please, please. Very, very impressive, as I said on my on the Lume shots itself, 10 out of 10. And I do have to say, I picked this watch up this morning, sort of 5 o'clock in the morning, so before the sun had come up, and without any torches on it, or without charging the Lume up last night, it was still going remarkably strong, perfectly viewable and visible. And then the final thing I like is the bracelet. Apart from my moans about the male end links, it's just a really competent bracelet. The buckle itself kind of sort of sticks up a bit. I'm not a huge fan of the buckle, but the bracelet itself is lovely, looks good, wears really well. Just very impressive. So let's have a go at summing this one up, shall we? So I think this watch has got a lot to offer for the price. It's not perfect by a long shot. The Cyclops is horrible, to be honest. If you've got a soldering iron, then there is a way of getting off. But I am not talented in that direction, so I haven't tried. But I think I love the colour of it. The Lume is just remarkable. I think its positives do outweigh its negatives fairly significantly, actually. It looks good on the wrist. That ceramic bezel is lovely. Couple of coats of anti-reflective coating, and this would be an absolute cert, but I've been wearing it for about a week and a half now, and it has been good fun. Wears well, and for less than 40 quid, kind of hard not to like it, really. NH35 movement, sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel, Jubilee. You all know how much I love a Jubilee. So I would wholeheartedly recommend this one. If you're going to buy it, be aware of the Reflecto, be aware of the male end links, be aware of the Cyclops. But none of those would stop me buying it. I think it's a really nice watch. Excellent fun for the money. And that's it. The Paralympics is underway, so I'm going to try and catch a little bit of that this afternoon. My box of watches to be reviewed seems to be growing on a weekly basis, so a ton of content still to come. Have a fantastic weekend. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.